And then Forrest, this is the one that I knew you're going to get fired up about, man. How much do the big data, how much data does these big tech companies collect? And what I always found it challenging, Forrest, is trying to figure out, well, how much do they collect? And nobody's ever really explained it in a way that makes it simple to follow. And finally, somebody did, and we'll include that link here, but let's talk about it. Yeah. How much are they collecting for us?
An obscene amount of information. And until you see it broken down line by line, you don't really realize, wow, that is an amazing amount of information about me as a person.
Yeah, take a look on the screen here, folks. All the amount of personal collection. This is just from Google, how much they're collecting. And Google's obviously the worst offender. What can you do about it is always the question for us. We'll check out the next screen here as we talk about this here. Not just personal information, but also unique identifiers. I mean, Forrest, there's not much you could do about it if you're in the Google ecosystem.
Yeah. There's alternatives. Some will say, oh, just go Apple. I'm more of a fan of not trusting any corporation, and instead I'd rather depend on the open source ecosystem, something that is openly verifiable. So in that case, I mean, there's different flavors of Android that you can use that have been de-Googled, if you will, so that you don't necessarily need to completely remove yourself from that ecosystem. Or you could go really hardcore and just go for an old flip phone.
They do sell the Nokia 6610s, by the way.
Yeah, indestructible.
They just brought them back. They brought them back on Amazon. So check this out. We also put up more screens here. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people knew that Google is tracking your search terms, your video watches, your views, your interactions. But the amount of activity that's collected, you can see here on the screen just how much they're actually collecting. It's absolutely mind-boggling, Forrest. But it's not just Google that's classified as the bad guy. It's all these other brands too.
Yeah.
And this website, these folks actually went through and presented very cleanly and nicely to understand how much data Facebook collects on you, Amazon, Apple, Twitter, Google, all the big dogs out there.
Yep, GAFAM, the Microsoft, the big techs of the world.
Right. So again, it's something to be aware of. We'll include the link in the show notes. Leave a comment, though. We'd love to hear from you what you think about all this data collection and what are some of your strategies that you use besides not using the internet at all to stop this data collection. We'd love to hear from you, okay?